Welcome to the Cool Fireman Podcast, a virtual firehouse kitchen table with What's a Rolfie, Unky, Fireman 1231,
East Coast Kellys,
JDB Cubed, and Fireman Freddy. Let's get to the show.
So what do you call that, Nick? What do you call that thing that's on your beer right there?
Koozie.
Koozie.
Yeah, it's a koozie.
What do y'all call it? A hugger?
Doug called it something else
A huggy.
earlier. A huggy.
Huggy koozie, yeah.
Oh, I've only ever known it as koozie. So
I've never called it a huggy.
A huggy? That's what you drank when you were 5.
That's what you put on a baby's ass.
That is.
Hey, I'm on a.
Oh, maybe it's a beer diaper.
Hey, I like it.
Maybe
You
this
drink
is
enough of it, you're gonna need one.
Hey,
Put
maybe
that-
this is the
Put that on the list for a day of ideas. We call them the beer diapers.
Beer diaper. Hey, honey, can you bring one of them beer diapers?
Shit, yeah. On a related note about diapers, I'm coming down y'all's way tomorrow, boys. I'm coming to Raleigh.
You scared the shit out of me. I thought you were
No,
going to
no.
say your wife's pregnant.
No, fuck no.
Damn.
We're coming down to pick up a dog from Triangle Beagle Rescue that we got one of our dogs from. He's going to be a foster, but he's got a spinal cord injury, some kind of disc compression thing. He walks fine. He goes up downstairs fine. He's not bothered by it, but it doesn't allow him to control his bladder or his bowel, so he wears a diaper and or a belly band. So segue from the diaper right there. So we're going to come pick him up and foster him for a while.
Yeah,
And that's in Raleigh.
A cheery story.
Yeah, Triangle Beagle Rescue. We got our last dog, next to last dog from there.
Nice.
And we fostered from them before. Sweet.
Good.
So damn.
What'd y'all do tonight, man?
Hot damn. 50
I had
episodes.
steaks and shrimp, and it was delicious.
Oh, steak, a little surf and turf.
With some boiled corn, with some Cajun seasoning and some butter.
What kind of corn?
Bold.
Bodacious.
Boiled.
That would,
boiled.
no.
With butter, a stick of butter and some Cajun seasoning.
The
B-O-L-D.
North Kakalaki people just leave the I out.
Bold. It's bold. Like you eat boiled peanuts and you boil your corn.
Yeah. BOLDED.
Oh, I thought you said bold.
Words are hard.
I thought he meant BOLD. Numbers are harder. Like the Cajun season made it like bold and stand out.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He meant bald. Shrimp ball.
Yeah, shrimp bowl. I used to have a neighbor who's from Louisiana, and he said bowl. Hit bold. So yeah, that's all good.
Well, when you turn on the light switch in your house, what does it light up? What is it turning on? A light.
Bulb.
I have a guy at work who calls it a bub.
A bub.
Bub.
Well, I get shit for saying cut the lights off. Like, what do you mean? You mean turn them off? Like, no, cut them off.
Cut them off.
Yeah. So, well, if we're gonna go down this path, what do you put your head on at night?
A pillow.
Pillow?
All right, no E's. There's no E's in there.
Pillow.
Up here, you'll get pillow.
Hello.
Yeah, you get some people say pillow.
No,
that's terrible.
Is that the Canadian influence?
It might be.
I think it is.
Look,
What
we
about
already started on the wrong foot. Hold on, Fred. Time the hell out. Give me a 20. It's March Madness. Give me a 20. Time out. Hey, it's episode 50 right now. We're going to do a little recap, I think, is what we're talking about doing. We're going to kind of, maybe Matt can work his magic and throw some of the old clips in from the early days.
No pressure.
Start this thing.
I don't even think I have the footage from all 50 of our.
We've been over a year.
We ditch it.
I ditched that stuff. I got a couple.
definitely been over a year,
I might
right?
have a couple of memories I could.
You
look
can
back
go
on.
download it off of YouTube. You know that.
In all your spare time.
He's sitting at the desk anyways. Trust me, I know.
This is just a
You put the
Coca-Cola,
brass
by
on the
way.
collar, and that's what happens.
I'm a working captain, my friend.
Oh, here we go.
I asked you guys legitimately, hey, where am I going to get myself an axe and a scabbard? And you guys laughed. I couldn't believe it. I was waiting for, hey, check this guy out. I got this bitchin' axe from so and so.
No, it's just that's not a thing.
You guys
It's
were
not
like,
a thing over here.
You guys,
It's not a thing over here,
all you guys had to say was, all you need is a radio strap.
dude. God bless them. My department, we had a couple of guys that would stick the Halligan in between their back and the chest strap, their back strap. We ain't doing that up in here.
Of the SCBA?
Mm-hmm.
They were a Black Knight or something.
When I was a fireman, I would stick it in between the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's Instagram firefighters for you.
Speaking of that, I saw a really good wedge. I don't know what the wedge company was. I could look it up. But this guy was doing some forcible entry with the door and was using a wedge to get instead of using the axe. I thought it was pretty sweet. You might have to give me some of them.
Yeah, our first episode was January 16th of 2023.
Ooh, good pull. All right, so that's over a year ago.
Yeah, it has 30 likes and 538 views.
2022 or 23?
23.
Yeah, it's been a year.
On the YouTube.
Yes.
You look confused, Doug.
I didn't get an answer. 22 or 23?
23.
Oh, so I thought it had been like 2 years because we keep skipping weeks and shit.
It feels like it's been a hell of a lot longer than that.
Well, like it took 2 years. Like we took 60 minutes to make minute rice.
Say even the normal one only takes 25 minutes. Good Lord, it takes too long.
Fucking idiot.
Well, there goes the NC-17 rating.
There you go.
We lost that a long time ago. Yeah.
So let me ask the question. I'm the new kid on the block. What was everybody's favorite episode? Not favorite, but one of the most memorable out of the first 50. So, Matt, what was yours?
My brain went. I'm usually not good at these rapid fire questions. I don't have my synapses in my brain. They don't fire very fast. But when you asked that, my brain went to when we had Jillian. I even remember her name. Jillian Crane on from First Responders Children's
Foundation.
Yeah, that's right. Foundation. I don't know why that didn't sound right in my brain. She was amazing. She looked like Sarah Jessica Parker. She had that hair flowing. She was like great attitude. I was like, I want to give all my money to this foundation. She was talking up what they were doing. It was their foundation was built after or started after 9/11 and all that kind of stuff. And then they do a lot of cool stuff for kids and communities, fire related. I mean, what did she say? She said, if you guys want to do like a cadet program or like just like a firefighter for a day for kids in your community, contact them and they'll look at doing the sponsorship and stuff. That was the first one that came to my mind. There's been a few really fun ones, that we've talked about. But that one definitely, I enjoyed having her on. She was a lot of fun.
How about you, Doug?
The Williams Key episode, I think, was my favorite.
That was the most shocking one.
Guy's story was amazing. I paused for a second there. I connected to my hotspot instead of my Wi-Fi. But yeah, that guy's story, man. Jesus, man. I'm gonna go back and listen to that one. We're driving to Raleigh tomorrow, so on the way drive down, I'll go back and listen to that. That guy, man. What a powerful story. Good stuff.
Yeah.
How about you, Freddy?
So it's hard for me to pick like one. I was really a fan of the Frank Viscuso episode. I definitely look up to him for leadership and all things kind of in the fire service. I also really liked, and I don't want to butcher his name, so I'm looking for it.
While you're looking, maybe
Yeah.
Matt, would it be too much to ask to say maybe we could drop a link to these episodes in the description on YouTube? So
Absolutely.
folks can
No, I could do that for sure.
I think that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Miguel Baez.
Miguel
Baez.
Yeah.
Oh, Miguel's awesome. That guy was rad.
And what was that one about for the listeners who may not have caught that episode? What was that one about?
So Miguel Baez is a firefighter, and he was in a horrific motorcycle accident, lost his leg.
Boston area,
lost his leg, has a prosthetic, and he's back on the job working like nothing happened. Real strong individual.
One of two in the country, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Amputees.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's below the knee.
Unbelievable.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Nick?
The bunk room etiquette was fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was going to mention that after I said mine. I thought that was hilarious. I mean,
I
your
was going to
story-
say you only got 3 to pick from. It ain't going to be hard.
Well, it's the
I'm
ones
about
that,
to
it doesn't
say-
have to be ones he was on. It's ones that he listened to too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was a really good episode.
Yeah.
funny.
That was a very.
I think we need to
back and forth, back and forth.
we need to revisit that because my
Well, I mean,
boys
just
my boys like to fight.
Well, just firehouse etiquette. Just general firehouse etiquette, like no farting at the dinner table. If everyone gets done eating, don't be the first one up. Just sit down, relax, and just talk amongst your peers. It's not a race, you know.
Yeah.
I've noticed that we like to talk about different types of leadership and different, different etiquettes. I mean, we've said that, or I have, at least I've said it a million times. I probably say it at least once a podcast is the C word. The culture is just so much different. And that's one of the reasons why we started this podcast was because, I'm from California. We've got Michigan, we've got Virginia, North Carolina. We've got all these different places in the nation. It's like, what kind of cultures can we drum up? But at the end of the day, I think that this podcast is a great representation of different circus, same clowns.
Yeah. 100%.
Don't you guys say that all the time? When you guys go and
Yeah.
train with different departments, different regions, jurisdictions, whatever you call it, it's just like everybody just has a great time and we're jaw jacking. Once the training's on, you go, you do your work, but when you're done, you're jaw jacking about debrief and all that kind of shit. It's just like everybody just starts laughing at some stupid whoever said, the training captain says something stupid, everybody laughs, and then it's like, man, say it's the same circus, just different clowns.
We were, I was at a conference last year, and I had presidents for the Fire Marshal Association from all around the country, and it was the same thing. I didn't care what state you were in. We started talking about problems just in each state. It doesn't matter if you're a captain riding a truck, you're the president of a fire service association. It does not matter. I don't care. You could even be complaining about toilet bowls as the rookie who's cleaning the toilets. One captain wants it rolling down the front, the other one wants it coming out the back. Every firefighter at every position has the same problems, no matter what patch they're wearing and what group that they're representing. So here's another. Go ahead. I was going to say something.
I just wanted to put the toilet paper roll on the thing and not like this.
We'll take it either way. Just don't set it on the top.
Oh, no doubt. I went in one today and it was sitting on the top.
I'm gonna admit something. One, I use wipes and not toilet paper, but I ain't got the common sense to operate that damn thing. I don't know how to get the thing out to replace it.
So they're so old and like
ours are.
worn
We don't
out.
have the ones like you have at home, just the spring in them, like they're the damn like industrial ones. I don't know how to get the thing out.
And then you write it up, and then you have the logistics to fix or just replace. And then you get some firemen that jerry rig like a long bolt about that. Well, I mean, just whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
What I want to know is it is single ply toilet paper that we have.
Sandpaper.
Why do we have a toilet paper holder that has a lock that requires a key? Nobody's stealing this toilet paper.
Mm-mm.
Nobody's stealing it. You can put it on. You can put it on an old broom handle, basically, and have 30 of them on there, and it'd make the job.
Even when people was buying it all during COVID, ain't nobody gonna steal that.
We put dude wipes on our staples. Like our coffee fund and all that.
We've talked about doing that.
We bought a case of it and we just keep it in the bathrooms.
I don't think you're supposed to flush those, are you?
Stop snitching.
You ain't supposed to speak. You ain't supposed to speed either.
We ain't in Michigan. We got good pipes down here.
I was going to say, wait a minute, hold on. They're a butt wipe on purpose. What are you going to do with them? Put them in a
We got good plumbing
door?
down here, Freddy. I know y'all Michigan plumbing ain't that hitting on much, but we got good plumbing down here.
Well, let's be serious. My father-in-law for over 30 years was a wastewater treatment plant director. So the things that people put down the toilet and
No doubt.
the wipes and stuff when that whole craze went through where people were using baby wipes and dude wipes and this wipes and that wipes.
Mm-hmm.
He said it was absolutely gumming up the machines to the point where they were changing the cassettes and stuff. Normally they do it like every couple days. They're changing them like daily.
No, I believe it.
Hey, Fred,
Get
you
yourself-
said you guys got single ply over there?
Right now. And if
My
it is
question
double
is-
ply, it's like half ply.
Dude, my question is, I've used single ply. We've all been in an RV. Usually it's like half ply, right?
Yeah.
But why? Why, when you use single ply toilet paper and you fold it over 3 or 4 times, does it not feel like triple or quadruple ply? I don't understand. So if you fold it over, it should be double ply. And then if you pull enough to do it 3 times, it should be triple ply.
How
But
many
it's
of us
not.
do this?
16th ply.
How many of us do this? And then, and then are you a bunch? Are you a bunch or are you
a water or a folder?
I'm a
Dear
folder.
God, it's the
I'm too
50th
organized.
episode, and we were talking about wiping behind.
Talking about doo-doo.
Yeah, I'm definitely a folder. I cannot
Get you
bunch
a-
that shit up. Your finger might slip through the little
Get
bunch.
you a bidet at home.
You're
And
screwed.
be done with it.
I've heard good things about that.
You better get you one. It'll change.
So
it.
hey, I'll go one step further. Sorry, one last thing about poop. So so our ambulance operator kids, they come in and they do a lot of our dailies in the morning because whatever. And you know what they've been doing?
He said, because peasants.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I go in the bathroom to go to the bathroom in the morning, and I look over and we have 2 rolls of toilet paper, right? Two separates. What they're doing in the morning is they take the little plunger thing out, they get it wet, and then they stamp it. They make it into a triangle and they stamp it, and then they put it back on there as if we're
Like
like
a
at
hotel?
some hotel. I'm like, dude, that is next level.
This ain't Disneyland, homie.
Dude,
No.
that's next level. It's next level.
Well, I got a question. I want to go back and get back on track for the 50th if I can, and not
There is
talk
no
about
track.
poo. There is no track. There
This
is
is the track.
Just get off of the poo.
exactly. Let's not do Polar Express on ice here, okay? So my question was, if you could go back and do a rebuttal, you watch a lot of the political debates of all the
Lord.
50th FPS episodes that you were on, whether it was like Nick and it wasn't a guest, it was just conversational. Do you have a rebuttal moment of where you went back and listened to it again and said, I wish I would have said, or I wish I could have added to this episode or whatever? Does anybody have one of those?
I'm sure. There's a handful of times, I couldn't tell you the guests, but there's definitely a handful of times that I remember ending the episode, and then we're kind of doing our little hot wash or whatever afterwards, and we're like, oh shit, really should have asked him about that. Or even if the guest sits in the room after, because there's times that we, kind of that natural ending, and then we sit and kind of just BS with the guest afterwards, and we actually end up getting some maybe candid comments that maybe they didn't say during the episode, and it's like, oh man, really wish we didn't know that, we wish we would have asked you that during the episode. But off the top of my head, I can't pick out certain episodes that were like, oh my god, I can't believe we didn't talk about that. But they're definitely out there.
So my most impactful was with Tom from the Burn Boss, because it was my first episode, but also just hearing the firsthand experiences of another business owner and just how it works and everything else. But what also made it so memorable for me was exactly what you just said I think we spent just as much time after the episode just talking with him and interacting with Tom from the Burn Box and getting to know more about who Tom was, not what necessarily the Burn Box was or what FDNY was, but just who Tom is, the business owner of Burn Box. And I think that's what was really cool. And I wish, and I know that we can't do it, but I really wish we could have just kept the recording going and just shared with people how cool Tom was. Anybody else got anything like that they wish they could have gone back and said?
Well, going back, I'd love to have the conversation with Lieutenant Kenny Mitchell again, who's recently retired, by the way. He is, I think last week was his last week.
Did he announce it at all?
I don't think he made a formal announcement on Facebook or any of his socials. We have one of our support column polls in Fire Admin. It's historical that retirees go sign the poll, and of course I had heard and I knew he was retiring, but that was when I saw it was official. But I would love to we could talk to that guy for days. I mean, I love talking to Kenny. Kenny's got a great story to tell. He's a great speaker, very captivating. But what you were just talking about, Ryan, we talked with Miguel like that for a long time before.
It was a while.
Before and after we started recording. Because he's a fireman. I mean, Tom's the same way. You fall in with them guys. I was at a class last week with a bunch of public safety people, and after 20 minutes together at the table, you're great friends, and you just start kicking the bobo and you're just talking. So yeah, Miguel was like that for us. We talked a long time with him.
Yeah.
But back to your topic, it would be Kenny Mitchell to me. I mean, Kenny's a great dude, man. If anybody hasn't met him, he's a great dude. I know he met Unky at the expo not long ago, but just a good dude, man. His third event is coming up this year, so we're going to do sponsorship for that.
So for the folks that are listening or watching on YouTube, Kenny Mitchell was Operation Yellow Tape. That was an episode that talks about peer support. And I think that was a pretty impactful. I know for me listening to it, it really, like as he was talking, I was checking boxes off for my own self. And I thought that was pretty cool. So if you haven't watched that, or watched or listened to that one, you need to go back. How about Matt or Nick? Did you guys have one? Because I got
episode
one more question.
15 was Kenny Mitchell.
Cool. Episode 15. Nice.
I don't really have one specifically, but I was actually thinking Tom from the Burn Box too. It's funny. I brought it up at work that we had him on the podcast. I was talking to some guys, and they had questions about, and mainly because, like the FDNY is so iconic, of course, 9/11, and he was talking about that. And they do have like some funky shift schedules where they work like 12s and the floaters and all this bullshit. Yeah. And then like the crazy question, or the crazy where he brought up how many firemen they have and how many. Remember the crazy number? We haven't even like looked that up, but and he wasn't really 100% sure about his answer about how many firemen or how many people actually
take the test,
apply for the test. It's crazy. Yeah. It was like 10,000 or more than that, 100,000 or whatever it was that he said. But yeah, there were so many more questions that came up, even at my coffee table at the firehouse. I said I had this guy on, and they're like, "Oh, what do you say about do they still get paid like shit?" And I was, I thought that they did, and I'm like, I don't know, I didn't want to get into that, but a lot of just a lot of things.
Well, what amazed me was, I know when we talked about his work schedule part of it, I understood it, but I didn't understand it. Like, like I heard what he was saying. Yeah, we work 12-hour shifts, and then I got that, but I didn't understand, like, is it like 3 12s and then you're off 3 days, or 2 days and then you work another 3 12s, or, like, I didn't get it. Like he was like, oh, you just work 12s and then you switch with your partner and then you go over here and I'm like, okay, like in his mind, it just click, 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 and then he explained it, and then we were like, oh, okay.
I think
I don't know that I really got it.
They call it like a swing shift, where they work like 12s, but they'll trade with another fireman, and so that makes it a 24. You know what I mean? And then they get a couple days off or whatever it is. I think.
Yeah, but they always 12s.
Yes.
I've never talked to a guy from NYPD, and FDNY. I've always wondered that because of how busy they are. Like,
sure, it's all about call volume,
right? You can't ask guys to work 24 hours doing that. It's just not feasible. Before I left the prison, we were on 12s. We did 5 days on, 5 days off.
I think some of the guys at the slower stations, like Staten Island, I think they work 24s. I think it really just depends on your call volume. I could be wrong now, but I know like some stations are different from what I've been told.
Yeah.
Like Staten Island is, your higher end. They don't have a lot of
your high rent districts typically don't generate call volume.
No. I mean, if they call 911 because they're sick, they're legit sick.
Yeah.
But
they don't burn their house down.
But the fire department doesn't run not on EMS
medicals.
calls.
Yeah.
No, they have their own ambulance service.
Mm-hmm.
This
guy at my station used to work for him.
This topic right here kind of brings up something that's been in my mind that I've been kicking around of trying to figure out how to pull it off for us, but almost doing a allowing the public or listeners or what have you to generate questions for us for future guests. Something of like hey, we're going to be filming this week with insert person here, Tom with the burn box. Is there anything out there that you guys would have loved to know. And then we can incorporate that into it. And then hopefully what that would do would generate a little bit more interest, interaction with the episode.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't know how we pull it off, because I know a lot of times, sometimes it's like, hey, are you good? Yeah, okay, let's do it tonight. Let's film tonight.
Yeah,
because trying to get 6 people in the same place at the same time, somehow 5 of us are off tonight, and
crazy.
Maybe it's just like a form, like a Google form or an Outlook form or whatever, where it's just a standard template and they could just put it in there, right? Write the name of the guest. Here, what's your question? A 2-question Google form, and then it just dumps into an Excel spreadsheet. I don't know, something like that.
Follow us on Instagram. We've been doing a lot of stuff. We're trying to get our Instagram going, and it's just a good platform for engagement, because you're able to use stories with polls, which is different from something like TikTok, where it's more of just like advertisement type videos, right? Or a certain genre type video. So we've been trying to do some stuff with Instagram. So if you're not following us on Instagram, get on there and start watching our stories, because we're starting to ask questions like this kind of stuff. I'm trying to get some more engagement from our listeners. And truly, like, we're like, I mean, we don't get very many. I mean, we're at the very beginning. I mean, even though we've been doing this for over a year, I mean, this is all like probably our 5th priority in our life. Not even that, maybe.
Yeah. Super part-time, I'd say.
Yeah. So we're doing our best.
More so now.
But we do have a couple. So like Ricky Bird, right? We just shouted him out last podcast, and we did a actual post for him on Instagram. So guys like that kind of keeps us the fuel in our gas tanks, if you will. Because when we get those kind of comments and that kind of engagement with our socials, it wants to like make us keep doing this. Now, Fred, you said it before we even hit record tonight, like, hey, I legitimately miss you guys. And so I think that comes through in our podcast. And I think that the people that listen to our podcast, and I don't want to use the word religiously, but I'll use it as regularly, they hear that. And so that's why they keep listening, because we try to make this as, what Tom said. He really felt like we were at a coffee table, and that 45 minutes just blew right by. But yeah, we're trying to get a little bit more engagement going on Instagram, and mostly just to have that engagement and answer questions and come up with topics for us. Because I mean, we can't come up with everything, but we can sit here and gab about whatever we want about fire service as much as we want. But
I'll be honest with you, guests too. Is there somebody out there that you're like, hey, I went to this class and had this really great instructor. I would love to see you guys have a chat with him, because a lot of podcasts are doing interviews. Like, that's what they call it. Hey, we're doing an interview with Joe Schmo. But to Matt, and it's really what we try and build this as is we're trying not to interview people. We do our turnout drill at the end of guest episodes where we ask them questions, and that's more of fun, just to try and trip them up and get them to say funny things and get them to think. But I try and handle that side of the podcast of figuring out who to have on, and consequently we've done pretty good with having guests. I honestly have had some people reach out wanting to be guests on the podcast, and some of them I've said, yeah, absolutely, we'll get back to you. A couple of them I've said, hey, that might not be something that we're really looking forward to. There was somebody who was actually running for political office be on the podcast and just talk about what they wanted to do for firefighters. And I was like, I appreciate you reaching out, but that is not the route that we want to take. We're not a political podcast. We don't want to be. If anything does come up that's political, we kind of dance around it. There's not many times we take stances, just because it is very polarizing, and it can get under people's skin, even if it's lighthearted and mild mannered. There are people who take it very seriously, and there are people who quite literally will. You'll be standing outside in the sunshine without a cloud in the sky, and they'll tell you it's a shitty day just because they're trying to get under your skin.
I've got 2 guests waiting in the wing. One is Battalion Chief Rick Rousseau with my department to talk about electric vehicle stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's big into the EV stuff. We did a in-service not long ago. He's heading up our whole work group on EV stuff. And I have Stephanie White, who is dating a friend of mine, and she works for Fairfax, and she's involved with the Fire Engineering 5 After Midnight podcast. She'll be at FDIC in a couple of weeks. So I think she's we'll leave it at she does some reporting for Fire Engineering right now. So yeah, looking at getting her involved too. Billy said she'd be happy to talk to us, and we'd be happy to do her podcast. So that's a couple things coming down the road. Is it pipe or pike? Coming down the
Pipe.
PIPE,
PIPE.
like Mario.
So I reached
But
out.
why isn't the pike like the turnpike? Wouldn't it be coming down the road?
No, like down the pipe, like it's traveling the water down the pipe.
Like the dude wipe.
Well, wouldn't
So-
that be going towards the toilet?
I don't know. So I reached out to a
Where'd you get those pants?
I reached out
I'm good.
to a
Toilet store?
retired
what?
firefighter.
Krispy Kreme donut. What? McDonald's is
Oh.
selling Krispy Kremes?
I reached out to a retired firefighter from my area who is actually now the nutritionist for the Detroit Tigers.
Oh,
Her name is Maureen Stocklin, and she's a registered dietitian. We do a PowerPoint at our department every year called Firefighter Nutrition, and it's a very interesting podcast PowerPoint, and reached out to her to see if she'd be interested in coming on, and she said she would entertain it. She's kind of busy right now, but that could be coming up. But I guess that's where it's at is engage on Instagram. Send us a DM. The DMs get looked at by like 7 or 8 different people.
and then talk
Not
about
7 or
it.
8. 2
Even
or
if
3.
just one, we'd still talk about it.
All right.
So point of clarification, let me go back. I Googled it. Is it pike or pipe? Coming down the pike is the original version of the phrase, which nowadays usually refers to something that is happening or appearing in the future. Coming down the pipe is a modified version of the phrase that carries the same meaning and is gaining popularity. So we are all correct.
Well, we are progressive, so pipe is the answer.
Correct.
What?
It's either or. It's both correct.
So it sounds like it's everybody wins. It's
Everybody.
participation.
Everybody
trophy.
Freddie,
gets a
why
trophy.
do you sound so goddamn sad?
I'm not sad.
You sound like it.
I'm exhausted. We did
Well,
we
get
did
some
our-
coffee or something. Shit.
we did our RIT scenario, final
some-
RIT scenario today at
have
the
some bourbon. It'll
at
fix you
the
right up.
academy, and I was the victim for one of the scenarios. So
Matt,
I got to be found and then dragged through the wire entanglement while on air and all that jazz. So I got beat up today.
Doug,
So go ahead.
thought you weren't drinking beer, Matt.
hey, I got a text message from you saying that you weren't going to drink either.
That's fair.
Okay.
I'm weak. What can I say?
Hey,
But in my defense, I'm not drinking beer.
I'm weak. I'm weak.
I'm drinking 10-year-old Eagle Rare. It's
I'm
delicious.
not weak. I'm just not a quitter. All right. Sorry. That's
Mama didn't raise no bitch.
That's terrible. We don't need
Hey, jeez, Louise.
Hey, do whatever makes you happy. That's all.
Hey, I want to go back for one more question.
Everything's okay in moderation.
All right. Yeah.
I got a question. So, of the turnout drills, this is actually a question that I was thinking, and then Freddy brought it up. So I'll ask that. Is there any people that we had on as guests that did a turnout drill that one of their answers surprised you? Like, it was like, whoa, I didn't see that one coming. Like, I know it's supposed to be lighthearted and fun, but there are serious questions that are in there, and I think that they're very valid. Like, if you could have dinner with anybody, who would it be? And, the things like that. Those series of questions. Is there any ones of those that someone just threw you for a loop, or maybe you just weren't expecting that kind of response? Maybe they were all serious and then they gave a really funny answer. Doug shaking his head.
We got a couple of. I know Trevor. Excuse me, Trevor Williams was one of these. If you could sit down and have a meal with anybody, it would be Jesus Christ. We got a couple of those that didn't really surprise me. I guess I kind of expected that from several people, honestly. Because if you're a Christian or a believer or whatever faith you are, that's somebody that you probably want to talk to, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How about anybody else? Matt, Freddy?
Oh,
Nick?
that's a tough one. There wasn't one that just like popped into my head.
I know who Nick's would be. Raise hell, praise Dale.
That'd be one.
I want to have a sit down with the Intimidator.
Him and Elvis Presley. To that
Shit,
question.
yeah. Oh God, man?
He's still alive. He's in Alabama. Haven't you seen it? It was on the front cover at the grocery store. Down at the Piggly Wiggly, Nick. If you need a copy, I'll mail it to you.
I bet that guy's got some stories.
He's got secrets that nobody knows about.
Well, apparently so does Michael Jackson.
Huh. I said Diddy might have had something to do with his death.
Oh, damn.
Take that. He talking about booty cheeks.
Oh, now we've gone off the rails.
No, I'm in it.
We're back to butts is all I'm saying.
No, probably so. People get invested in stuff, and I am invested in this Diddy thing.
Really?
Yeah, I'm invested.
I
stayed up till 12:30 last night, even though we got up twice on calls. I stayed up 12:30 scrolling Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, trying to refresh and find out what was new in the Diddy situation. I'm invested.
Wow. All right. Well, you keep
I
us
drank only the
abreast.
finest Cambodian breast milk.
Oh, shit.
That's from Chappelle's show, in case anybody didn't get it.
To just clarify, I have no idea what y'all are talking about. That's how old I am.
Chappelle's show.
I got nothing.
No?
Samuel L. Jackson.
P. Diddy's house just got raided.
It'll
in Beverly
get you
Hills.
drunk.
I got nothing.
Yeah, his house in Miami and his house in California. While he was allegedly on a flight, his jet went to Antigua. He was apparently seen at the Miami airport, though. So I got to get back into it when we get off a podcast. When we get off of this, I'm going back in. I'm diving in.
Okay.
Doug's starting to start his own true crime podcast.
Oh, dude, I'm in. I'm in it.
What
You know
would Trump
why-
say?
You
Hashtag
know why?
fake news.
You know why
Hashtag fake
Biggie? You know why Biggie had one eye cock? Because he could keep it on Puffy.
Yeah, I got a subject.
One eye on the mic and one eye on Puffy because he was trying to touch little boy's booty hole, as Cat Williams would say.
Oh.
Cat Williams told you first.
I got a subject.
Matt, what did you want to talk about? Your dog's
All right.
in the background. Hello, doggy.
One of the coolest things we've done
Whose dog? My
was
dog?
we gave money
No, Matt.
to. Oh, really?
Yeah.
No,
I just saw a
mixing up
dog.
with my rabbit.
To the we gave money to the First Responders Children's Foundation through
Shit, yeah, we
Taylor's
did.
Tins. Huh?
Yeah.
That was one of the coolest things that we've done.
Yeah.
In the 14 months that we've been doing this, we held up our end of the bargain. And when we
Shout
said
out Sex
that
in the City lady.
we want to give back, And after talking to Jillian, I was like, yeah, we could do all of our fundraising just for them, and I'd be super stoked on it. And so because of that, over the last few weeks, I've been texting you guys a lot that I've started posting on Instagram a lot through our account. And we had mentioned a long time ago that we want to do a virtual fill the boot. And I'm like, that is an amazing idea because, we've all stood on the corner of the street doing the fill the boot, and it's primarily for MDA, the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
Sometimes it's selling your body.
Right, yeah. If it's for Doug, yeah, he'll get a lot of money. Okay. So anyways, we're going to do a virtual fill the boot. And I think we're going to set it for April. Write it down. April 14th. I think that was the date that I had thrown out there. Now, like Freddy said, it's hard to get us all in the same place at the same time. So there's never going to be a good date for us to do it. So
As Freddie leaves.
Yeah, as Freddie leaves. So what we're going to do is we're going to get on TikTok live.
Let me do it right now. I'll do it right now.
What?
I'll do it right now.
You going to get on TikTok Live?
Yeah, you'll do it right now.
Go for it. And we're going to do a virtual fill the boot. And so the way that I've done a little bit of research through TikTok, and they do actually allow you to have a fundraiser button, I would say, or something like that on your
donate
live
button.
But the 501 or the donation has to go to somebody that's signed up through TikTok as like so we can't do like
as an authorized charity.
We can't do first responders, children's
They're on
foundation.
TikTok.
Huh?
Aren't they on TikTok? They're on
They
TikTok.
are on TikTok, but they're not registered as like as somebody that you can donate to. And neither is MDA. Because I thought we'd do MDA. I have a connection through MDA that I was going to reach out to. So the next best thing, Red Cross does a lot of great things across our country.
Yeah.
From CPR to disaster relief to all this kind of shit. But the best thing, in my opinion, is that a lot of their money goes towards actually what they're touting that they do. And I'm no professional, but I can Google.com. And I Googled, hey, what are the best charities to donate to in reference to what actual amount of money goes towards these reliefs or whatever. And American Red Cross, they tout that $9 out of $10 or $90 out of $100, so 90% of their money goes towards all these reliefs. So I'm like, that's pretty freaking rad.
That's a big number.
Right, it's huge. And so they're set up through TikTok. So if we have a link and if anybody can just give $1, right, 50 cents, $5, $10, $100, whatever it is, we're going to come up with some stuff. And I think that if we raise $1,000 through the Cool Fireman podcast that goes to the American Red Cross, I'm going to shave my mustache, which
it's glorious.
Do not want to do. I've had my mustache. My wife is finally used to it. I don't get any shit from my mustache anymore. And so to shave it would set me back years. But for $1,000 through the Cool Fireman podcast, I wouldn't be more proud than to shave that mustache. If we can get $2,000, I would shave my head. Shave it off. Shave it gone.
I miss my mustache. I miss it every day.
This thing is like a part of me now. I figured out how to groom it. I'm good.
So let me ask a question.
Length.
So we're trying to go to the IG platform. We're trying to do all this other stuff. It would be good to do a TikTok live, but could we, as a build up to it, do like, I don't know, I don't want to say a GoFundMe or whatever, but one of those platforms where people can donate leading up to it, should they not be available on the 12th? Like, I know Adam had full intentions of being here tonight. He's on shift. Who knows what happened? He wasn't able to be here. So I would hate for someone to wait out for that. They may want to put their bets in early to make sure that that thing is shaved off. So we can probably make that happen, right?
Absolutely. I'm not ready for that question. I'm not ready for the answer. But we can absolutely do that. So if you're listening to this podcast and you're still listening, thank you. But I am going to post on Instagram how you can donate towards this fund. And if we do $1,000 total towards American Red Cross from the Cool Fireman podcast, from this point, from today that you're listening to this podcast, all the way through the day, which is going to be April 14th. No. That's going to be the day. We're going to do it that day.
Today, tomorrow, and the day after.
We all work for the fire service, so please be flexible. That might change, but I'm going to try my gosh darndest to get that done on April 14th. We're going to do live TikTok. Yes, I think that's a great idea, Brian. I think that we can figure out a way.
Venmo, PayPal, we got to work it out.
This is the thing. We need to make it as easy as possible. We don't even have 1,000 people that are following us on Instagram, and we can't do it on Instagram Live because Instagram doesn't do what TikTok does, where it brings in new people into your live. And so I think that TikTok is our best bet. So if you don't have TikTok, try to get on a friend's account if you just want to give $1 or 50 cents, whatever it is, to try to help us out.
Are you going to shave it off live?
I'll shave it off live. If we hit $1,000, 100%, I will shave my mustache. And if we hit $2,000, the hair's gone for sure. Gone.
That's
like razor blade.
$5,000. I might even do my
Can I for the listeners, I feel like I owe this to them. Can I brag on the American Red Cross here for a second?
Yeah.
And because I haven't mentioned this in the chat at all. I haven't brought it up, but I have some really good. So everybody knows I'm a fire marshal, and so I see the effects of fire and the response that American Red Cross does for fire victims, and I see the after effect of that. So the fire crews, y'all will see the DAT team members come out in their smocks, and they will give them a care package. But as fire marshals, what I'll see is the conversation after the trucks are gone, or when the phone calls come to headquarters and they say, "Hey, I went into the house and I got my medications. Is it safe to take?" And we go, "No, it's not safe to take." And they go, "Well, I called my pharmacy and they said I can't take those." There's a whole division of American Red Cross that just helps people with their medications because their insurance won't cover it. Medical equipment. People don't know that when you donate blood to American Red Cross, they sell the blood to the hospital at a discounted rate, but they turn around and take that money and use it for disaster assistance. So like Hawaii and all these other things, they are hurricanes, fires, all these different things. They are taking the donation of the blood, because that can be recreated, and using that money, turning around and recycling it back. And the paid positions that they do have, it's amazing to me. I mean, my local person covers 20 counties. She's over 20 counties of volunteers, and it's unheard of. And then not only that, I know Nick will appreciate this in his previous time as a community risk reduction person. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. We have a huge smoke alarm program with American Red Cross here in North Carolina. And I mean, huge. We installed over 4,000 alarms just in my county, making over 500 homes safer. And that was to the benefit of the Red Cross volunteers. The majority of those alarms were installed by Red Cross volunteers. My father-in-law, of all people, is a Red Cross volunteer that has installed over 1,000 alarms. We've had 2 documented families saved because of those alarms in home fires. And so I could go on all night about it, but if you're going to give your dollar, know that those $9 are making a difference. That's the biggest thing. That's what I look at. I mean, you could turn around and put it back, but I want to see the results, the return on that investment of those $9, and make sure that my money's going where it needs to go to make an impact. And it's making an impact. And that's what I like. So cheers to them. I say, let's do it. Let's get it going.
Hell dang.
I wish I had $9.
Come on,
yeah,
Billy
but you
Mays.
you got 1 million followers that if they all donated $1,
I have 9 smoke alarms.
There you go. Got 9 smoke alarms. But think about it. If you look at the number of followers that all of us have, if every follower was to donate just $1, what kind of impact that would make? That would be huge.
50 cents.
Yeah,
50 cents.
Just 50 cents.
Hell, I'll take a quarter.
Yeah, anything. That would be huge. And that's a direct impact to the quality of service that we're providing. And a lot of the times what we can't provide, I don't know if y'all ever noticed it, like we're real good at putting the fire out. But though there's something about that little old lady in that Red Cross smock that just makes those people feel a little bit better emotionally after they've lost everything.
Yeah.
There's just something about that.
Yeah, and until you see it, like you said, Brian, until you see it firsthand, the after effects of when those people show up on scene before the scene is even mitigated and you're even demobilizing, it's a big deal. And like Matt, I agree that's a great, I hate to say a fallback option, but I mean,
yeah.
we see that firsthand in action. So I know there's, like I said, you Googled it, but there's a lot of charities out there that are nonprofits that are, 40, 50% of the money they take in is going back. I'm like, well, that's not the gist of what this is about.
I understand in some cases we have to pay employees.
Yeah, of course. Right. You got to you got to pay your bills. I get it.
We got to pay the bills. The people who run it full time, they got to feed their families too.
They're not volunteering all their time.
But the private jets at the Bahamas.
I don't expect them to.
Yeah.
I don't.
All right, we get a whole nother topic about churches and private jets and misuse of funds, but
the church
not just churches, but
the church has an electric bill too. It ain't free,
right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Doug, going back to something that you said about a Red Cross, and I'm sure we want to probably talk about the future beyond 50, what that looks like. But, going back to something that Doug said is we had a fire at a lawyer's house. It was accidental. It wasn't on purpose. I know that seems a little bit of an oxymoron, but we did. And, they were well off. Obviously, they had insurance and everything. And so the Red Cross was called. No one asked, hey, do you need Red Cross assistance? The incident commander just called. And when they showed up, the lawyer kind of, I don't want to say was cocky about it, but was like, oh, I don't need them. And I said, I'll never forget. I looked at him and I said, do you have a toothbrush tonight? And he goes, well, I guess I don't. And I said, well, then you need to talk to him. Because you don't have socks, you don't have underwear, you don't have a toothbrush. And I get it. You got enough money in the bank to cover your deductible, but Walmart is closed and you need their toothbrush. So that way, when you go check into the hotel, you got something to brush your teeth with. Yeah. Because right now you don't have nothing. And so that immediate response and that immediate support that they give, no matter whether you're, and humility. And I don't care if you're the richest of the rich or the poorest of the poor, you are all equally vulnerable in that moment. I don't care. Fire is everyone's fight. U.S. Fire Administration had that tagline, but that is so true.
And to even be that,
I'm going to Doug's house for Eagle Rare.
Shit, yeah, bro. I got more. I got another fifth and a half a gallon.
Yeah, there's me and Lucy riding deep.
Whoa, come on with Lucy, son. To be even that, Brian, to even have that arrogance and that pompous attitude in that time of stress for most people, but apparently when you have, excuse my language, fuck you money, you don't think about those things. The common man, like all of us, like we're like, God damn it, man, really? Yeah, that's a big deal, man. When you say, hey, look, don't worry about a hotel, don't worry about clothes, don't worry about hygiene. None of that. We got you. I've literally got a drawer of every size T-shirt, pants, underwear, whatever you need. I've got a drawer for it. Right. And for the common person, that's a big deal.
Yeah. So that's our goal: 25 to 50 cents per follower. Let's, and with that, 1,000 or 2,000. Matt's going bald.
I'd like to set our goal at 2,000. So our Instagram campaign has kind of already started. I kind of started off with a question about the American Red Cross, and a lot of people, I don't know, we got like 15 answers or something, but so a little bit of engagement, which is great. And then I said, hey, this is why I did that post. And so we're starting it, and I'll continue to post, and I'm going to figure out a way for people that can't be available on that day on April 14th to, whatever, give their donation, and then we'll add it all up at the end, and we'll by the end of that day we'll know exactly how much we've raised, and then hopefully it's more than 2,000. That'd be super awesome.
April 14th, that's a Sunday.
Yeah, you cool with that?
Yeah, I'm off that day. That works out great for me. Actually,
I thought that was the day that I threw out there, and then a couple people were like, So
I'm coming off of 48, but I'll come off of 48. I'm not doing much around here anyway, so I'm just going to be watching baseball, so I can be available all day to be on TikTok Live.
Well,
down with it.
I mean, it's a true testament, guys. We just talked for 20 minutes, and then we didn't even blink an eye about American Red Cross and about the fact that what we want to do with this podcast. And so going forward, I would love to try to figure out a way to raise money again and do it with Jillian and the First Responders Children Foundation, because she was amazing and their mission statement is amazing. So we're going to do that. But I think we got nothing but greatness, guys.
We should talk to her again just to talk to her, because she was awesome.
I mean, this podcast, anybody that listens, and like I said, regularly, we chat, we talk every single day. I mean,
every day.
Our text thread blows up. My text thread blows up around 4:00 in the morning, because it's about 7:00 in the morning for these boys. It's right there. But yes, that's the podcast right there. If you can look at it, if you can see Adam, it, Spotify or YouTube.
Yeah, you guys should see Adam's.
Adam's the photo right now.
I'm going to try to get as close to the camera as I can.
There it is. That's it.
Adam with a cigarette in his mouth, looking down with his massive double chin.
Looking down
he would have even shared that photo.
Oh my God, what an idiot. What an idiot.
Why would you do that? Oh, regrets. No regrets.
No regrets, bruh.
Yeah. This podcast is just an addition to that text thread. And I think it's been absolutely insane. Like I think about it all the time. It's funny. Like I'll say, hey, these guys that I met on TikTok, and people be like, what did you just say?
Yeah, we're not just weirdos who talk on a podcast. Like we talk to each other every day.
You guys send each other pictures? Or like what the fuck is going on?
I better check on my Diddy situation.
Yeah, right. So anyway, nothing but greatness.
So the future looks bright, whether it's raising funds, new people, engagements on socials, all of these things, right? And the biggest thing is not saying that we should bend or mold to what people want, but we should meet people, the firefighters, where they are. Because I will say, and I didn't chime in on this, the one thing when I asked about the if you could go back and ask something, that was part of the reason why I kept jabbing at Adam over and over again, was because as a regular listener, I found myself wanting to chime in all of the time. And looking back now as a host, I really wish I would have engaged more and commented on the YouTube comments and dropped something on an Instagram post or whatever, because what I now see in those daily thread text is text where maybe it's Doug screenshots where he got a message, a private message from somebody or whatever who listened, or anybody does that for that matter. And it was like, oh, that's really cool. And so that public engagement piece is crucial. I don't think people realize that. Something as simple, if you can't afford the quarter to donate to the American Red Cross, something as simple as liking and commenting, great show, boosts the algorithm, right? And that helps us get the exposure that we need to get more people to subscribe to the podcast and to the YouTube. That sounded very old. That sounded like I was 1970. To the YouTube, that gets you on the YouTube, but it does, and that helps us. And so just doing something that simple doesn't cost you anything, and really helps us and helps us give direction as well, the feedback that we need.
Our YouTube is abysmal. It is so shitty.
What do we got?
But is YouTube still a thing though?
Are you kidding me?
Really?
It's gigantic.
Sure. The shorts are
when I get in bed at night, and
where's this going? Talk to me, Diddy.
And my two pillows.
Wait, hold up.
I go to
your two polos.
The My Pillows.
Oh,
from that guy.
Yeah, grandma got them for me. So,
oh yeah, from the guy though.
I go to YouTube. I get on YouTube and I watch just mindless things like top 10 NFL busts. Top 10 college Heisman. Where are they today? Just mindless stuff, and it's a wormhole because it's like related videos.
I was gonna say, does it just send you down that hole of? Oh, now you watch that, watch this. And it's just like, yeah, I probably would like to watch that.
But I mean, if you watch,
but we're not in that kind of thing. Like we're not doing fire tactics and that kind of shit. So I mean, I get it, but
no, I mean,
I didn't think YouTube was still like jumping like that.
No, I mean, it's like, videos, I watch anything but related to the fire service or stuff like that. I mean, just me. Because we do the job for a living. It's like me personally, Chicago Fire. I hate Chicago Fire. I don't like it. I never like it.
It's my job. It's not my life.
Now, Rescue Me, I can kind of relate to it because it deals with some of the hardship as far as a personal life. And I can relate to that. And it's kind of funny
and
at the same time.
Awesome.
And this is awesome.
Yeah.
And knowing what he did outside of the show for the FDNY, and he was a fireman for New York City, and some of his buddies were there too. It's like, I can kind of relate to that.
Love it.
Hey, shout out to Dano and his big head in the background of Nick's picture.
Yeah.
Shout out Dano.
He keeps us fed. I'll tell you that.
We love Dano.
Did you see his new seasoning?
Hey, yes,
the seafood one, right?
It's taco.
Oh,
I didn't see that.
It's
I thought the fish was the new one.
You're in Virginia. I know it's being sold.
Yeah, but all I see in stores is the regular, the hot, or the regular Chipotle and the spicy. That's all I ever see in the store.
The seasoning is really good. And people say, what is the seasoning like? The seasoning to me is a spicy version of Old Bay. It's very good.
I got to see it then. Once I see it in the store, I'm buying it. But I meant to text you the other day. I bought, what the hell did I cook? Or where did I get the pizza from? I think it was a frozen pizza. Regardless, doesn't matter. I put the seasoning on it, and that shit on pizza, I put it on my popcorn, and it is amazing.
If you come back by my house,
I love the seasoning.
Next time you stop by my house, come by. I've got Dano at the yin yang. I can give some away.
Hey, I love that dude, man.
For you, yeah, he's a good guy.
We don't care nothing about that other guy.
He don't like me for some reason.
We don't care. We don't care.
I ain't said the first word to him.
We're Team Dano here. We don't care.
I might be planning a Cool Fireman Podcast trip.
Are you going to do it? September, June?
In September too. I want to come out for the golf, but I think I might actually make it out in June. So keep posted.
Okay,
yeah, I'll keep you posted.
During the week is better for me rather than the weekends because that's peak softball season.
All right,
but I don't care.
Duly noted. I will keep you posted.
Yeah, dude, I would love nothing more than for us to get together at like Kenny said, we could live record at his event.
In September.
And the people there that we could talk to about their issues, we could just recap the whole mental health thing because that's Operation Yellow Tape is all about that. Like the people that are there with their stories, Jason Redmond being one. Endless stories. Like it would be a great thing for us and Kenny. That would be awesome. And Brian mentioned catching a ball game. The Nats happened to be in town that weekend. I'm a big Braves fan.
All right, I'm in.
Obviously,
I'm almost positive I'm going to be in September. But
I'm all about taking the train to DC to catch a ball game because Nats Park is beautiful.
It is beautiful. Love it.
All right, great first 50 episodes. Brian, did you have something to end with?
Sidebar. I want to talk about June after. So,
got it.
Okay.
Hey, first 50 in the bank.
Like, follow,
and
share,
we got
subscribe.
Nick in for number 50. Wow. Billy Mace.
Hey, look, guys. Dad's here.
No, in all seriousness, Nicholas, look at me. Look at me when I'm talking to you. We're proud of you.
Thank you.
We're happy for you.
Dude.
We're happy for you. We're happy for you. We understand the obligation that you have. We just give you shit to give you shit.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
You know I love you. I showed up unannounced a couple times, and I'm still going to keep doing it.
When you text me, you said 8 p.m., I'm like, 8 p.m. is like witching hour for us because
I know. I get it, man.
Wilson's going to bed, cleaning up from dinner.
And Mama's
did
pregnant.
not film tonight's dinner because I filmed twice today. I'm just like burnt out. And we can't imagine. I don't want to say the strain, but like the hecticness of your schedule and with the baby and with Mama being pregnant and the obligations you have for all your we're proud of you. So recently, I just hired an agent to represent me.
Shit, I could have done that, bro.
I know, but
I couldn't do that.
Tomorrow, I have to go to Charlotte. Well, we have to go to Charlotte, the family. Harrison's not even going to school. We're going to, it's a museum of illusions in Charlotte. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into, but they want to
promote it.
An experience video for content. And, they're free tickets. They're paying me a stipend for them to make a video. And I'm like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. And, because, a lot of these creators on social media, they go on Carnival Cruises, they go on Royal Caribbean, they go to NASCAR events, Braves baseball. I texted my agent. I said, baseball season's coming up. I said, you need to get us some like baseball tickets for like the Atlanta Braves or something like that for me and all my homies.
All right,
hey, I'll pay for mine. I don't give a shit. I'm always down
I'll
for a road trip to Atlanta. I'm always Atlanta's 8 hours, bro. Atlanta's shit for me. I'll drive it quicker than a hiccup.
Just pay for my parking. That's it.
Yeah, I'm always down to come to Atlanta, dude. Always.
Yeah.
That was another cool stadium. That was another cool one.
I haven't been to the new one yet.
The old one and the new one.
The last time I went, I was with my dad. It was the final year of Turner. So
All right.
But look, seriously, dude, we're proud of you, man. We get
Thank
it.
you.
We understand your obligations. We're happy you could be here for number 50.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I know everybody that listens gets it too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did you see that, Matt?
Dude, it recognized my art hand.
Look at that. Look.
Oh!
That's awesome.
And mine don't.
Will it do this too?
Yeah, last time
does.
we did it.
Yeah.
Mine don't do it.
I won't do it. But anyway. Yeah, good shit, man.
All right, boys. Hey, first 50 is great. Let's see what the next 50 has in store. We will be donating more than $400 in the next 50. That is our guarantee. Let's go.
See.
Roll it, Gigi.
Before you leave, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give these firemen a huge thumbs up. Also, make sure you check out thecoolfireman.com for more. Thanks!